Homa this morning for Kubera Lakshmi. The energy is very intensely present. There are many cosmic devatas. They're all here. I want you to receive them. What I'm going to share with you is certain mystical happening which you have to know. You have to be aware of what is happening here, what the significant thing Mother is doing for us and to the world, and we are the immediate beneficiary. The more you know, the more you are aware, the more you will receive. So I'll share with you some of the information. You'll find it very useful. If you don't understand, you can re-listen to that later on. It'll go into the YouTube. Can I have the first slide? Our temple mission is to receive divine grace and share the grace with humanity. If you don't receive it, we cannot share it. So Mother will make sure, and you'll understand in the next hour how much she has done, how she has done, how we have to become aware and receive it. Once you become aware of that information I'm going to share with you, my job as a mailman, I deliver. Nothing comes from me, it comes from her. So you look at it this way. She sent you a message, I'm just passing on to you. In the process, I learn a lot because I get to read that. She told me, you're a mailman, but only privilege you have, as opposed to other mailmen, they cannot read the mail. They have to give it to you. She's very personal to you. What you will understand the next hour is very personal to you and to Mother. So take it as a special message for you. I'm just delivering. Hopefully I'll deliver effectively. But the communication is between. She's a personal goddess. So much information I'll share with you, what is going on and what is going to happen in the near future and what happened in the past week, past month when I was in Himalayas. The mission is very clear, to receive divine grace to the highest level, because it's her house. We are visitors. So when you visit her house, she will make sure you receive the most. And you'll see in the next hour how much she has done. Some of you in the close circle we know, but most of you do not know what is happening here. This is not a regular temple because this is her house, constructed by her, planned by her, and given by her. So you see the temple mission. Now you will share with me what her accomplished towards her wish. Her wish is to receive and to share. And she will make sure we receive. And we have to do our best to share. All this we do is towards that, because it is shared by us and the world. There are many all over the world who are listening to that. When I go outside the country, I hear. They watch it, they benefit from that, they know it. So a very sweet thing happened when I was in one of the ancient temples in India. There are maybe three young kids. When I say young kids, they're in their early 20s. They came to me, they said, Doctor, we visited your temple. We want to build that in Vijayawada. They're from Andhra Pradesh. In Vijayawada, can we do them? I said, listen, if you really want it, she will do everything possible to make you, because you are building what we have down here. And many other parts here in USA, the people, they asked me. One very famous man is Ambani's cousin. They wanted to build the Rajagopuram we have here. So they came to our Stapati. Can he reproduce that Rajagopuram? Of course, he said no. He cannot do that. Not that he doesn't want to, because they have money. They could say, we'll allocate 100 crores for that. Can we do them? He said, I can build that, but it would not be that, because that was designed by her. That Gopuram is Sannidhanam. It's not just a Rajagopuram. It's Rajagopuram Sannidhanam. It's designed by her. Many prana pratishtas have been done by her. So he said, I don't even know the mantras she gave during the time. I don't know mantras which I did when she gave it to me when I initiated it. So it's gone forever. You cannot reproduce it. And they were upset initially. Then he explained to them, I'll do it, but it will be a structure. It would not have the ability to do what she has asked us to do for the world, because this temple was built for protection of us and the world, because she said terrible things are going to happen in the first 30 years of the new millennium. You complete this house, my children would come and they will receive it, but the world will receive it more than anything, whether they are aware or not. Those Yakshinis, those Devatas will be here in the earthly plane, and they will protect from bad things are happening. It will happen much mitigated, maybe 95% mitigated. That may be very significant. I'm talking about millions passing away. That kind of natural calamities, political, economic, all those can happen. But they will protect. 95% mitigation is very significant. Next slide, please. Okay, first installation we are going to do is Nagadevatas. We had Nagadevata, the regular Nagadevatas. She wanted this way. You see the slide, the Nagaraja, Nagarani, and the baby aspect of it. Now, you see in all the deities, any temple you go, you see the deity and Naga behind it. What it represents is that deity's grace, that deity's ability to help you manifest through the Kundalini energy of that deity. So every deity you see, they will have the Naga. What that means is, what that deity can grant us, that will manifest through the Kundalini energy of that deity. They'll be very, very higher than what we can manifest, but we can manifest whatever our potential is. That's a symbolism. She said, many of my children, meaning us, they have Nagadosha. I didn't realize it is that common. Nagadosha, Kala Sarpadosha, they're very common apparently. They're planetary. Apparently they're much more common than what I realized, what anybody realized. And they go through lots of difficulty, health difficulty, family difficulty, harmony, everything goes, and they don't even know that they have it. Those of us who are knowledgeable astrologically we have a person connected to us who tells us, you do have Nagadosha, you do this prayogam, parigaram means solution. But most of us don't have that contact, don't have the ability. So we go through the suffering. We miss out many things we can have because of that dosha. So he said, you bring Nagas this way and I will grant them the protection through Nagadevata because they will function under my direction, the Nagadevatas. So Nagadevatas are very, very important because Kundalini is in all of us, but it's dormant, not awakened. And we are not getting the potential because we haven't awakened it. In this temple, when you come in, your prana is active. That you know and I know. The pranic force becomes active and we focus it and we do get many benefits because of that. But when we come with the knowledge about Kundalini, and we have a Shi Chakra slide, I'll show you what we can do. So you get much higher because that goes from our Atman to Paramatman, not to my mind, body, intellect, and ego. Not that part, not the part I see. The real part of you, which is me and you, we are all one, in the highest level. And she is Paramatma. So she says, that will wake up. Then all your potentialities will come. Many, many potentialities we have, we don't even know we have, and we don't take advantage of it because we don't think us as Atman. We think of us as this temporary short-term lease, which we have, which is going to expire. All of us, it will expire and we'll move on. But the real person, we don't think of him. And when we think of him based on the information I give you, a Nagadevata will grant you that grace to make us understand and give protection from those dosha. I don't know what I know about me, but many of you apparently have Nagadosha, Kala Sarpadosha, without knowing it. But we would not know that because it manifests in a very subtle way. We will just miss out on something which is meant for us because of this dosha which will prevent it. Next slide. So we are going to install that. It will be magnificent, wonderful, and participate in that. Sponsor it, do abhishekam, do archana, do meditate, do whatever way you can take advantage of that deity which Mother has given us. And until she told us, we were not aware of the fact that many of us have this dosha. I have Kala Sarpa dosha. Many of us have that. And we don't know it, so we miss out something which could have had it. Or we suffered something which we may not have. So this is wonderful information she gave, and we followed the instruction. The Sthapati made the Vigraha. It's made in granite. It looks magnificent. We have it. We cannot install it because we have to build a separate mandapam for her. Till winter is over, we cannot. So we have to wait till probably March, April time frame when we can build that mandapa outside. It will be on the right. One side will be Ganesha, magnificent Ganesha. We removed it. Very cut. The Ganesha which shows you the way. That will be outside. And behind him will be the Nagadevata in the magnificent form you see down there. So that's a first installation we will do. Next slide, please. I think they have moved it down. These are, we have planned it a long time ago, but we will do them. These are very symbolic. The Dwaja Stambham, I see it all the time. I've seen it for the past 20 years, but it is not visibly present for everyone to see it. I see it with astral eye, because Mother told me, this is what, when you come here, don't come here with your mind, body, intellect, which is me. Don't come here, but come with Atman, so I can connect to you. The Devatas here can connect to you. She'll connect, but other Devatas, lesser vibratory energy, call them Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, all this super sensual energy, they'll connect to you, but come as your Atman. So when I see the Dwaja Stambham, I think of Kundalini, my reality, my Kundalini energy, I think of it, I invoke them, then I come in. So when I come in, I'm purified. She wants all of you to think as you come in what that means. And then you think of your Kundalini. Then you think what level, all those knowledge comes to you, and you receive that cosmic entity with full force, and mean full manifestation. So that is the symbolism of Dwajastambha. Balipeedam would be in front of it, Simhavahanam. Simhavahanam means how she controls the beastly qualities in us. Because we are beastly, we came from beast. So we are very fresh from beast to human. We have to go to divine. So the beastly quality is represented by animals. The king of animals is Simha, lion. So symbolically, that is her vehicle. She doesn't need a vehicle. She's everywhere, anywhere, all the time. But we think of it that way. She rides the lion, she controls the lion. So Simhavahanam, that's symbolic. Balipeedam is symbolic. Sacrifice. So when I come, I sacrifice my mind, body, intellect, ego. I say, I give that up. But people misunderstood in ancient days, the kings. They actually gave balis. The bali is given by you, by us, with our blood, not poor animal's blood. The certain devatas, lesser vibratory energy, they're very close to us, and we have representation. They like that blood, any blood. So they use animal, and they go with certain pain and certain sacrifice. They safely used someone else, some other life form. But basically, we have to sacrifice in many ways, and so many ways. Here, by just participating in this job itself is a huge, huge benefit. So that is the symbolism of Dwajastambham, Balipeedam, and Simhavahanam. And to make others understand, we will build it. To build it is difficult because everything here is made by a siddha, many siddhas. We cannot just go and order it and make it. All the vigrahas, they're made by siddhas, special people, and it's made in a special way. So that is going to be a big job, but we will do it in the next 6 months. It's very expensive, but expense is nothing for what it can grant us, whoever comes. I have seen those mentally, astrally I see them. I do prayogam, so I know what it means. But all of you should see it, and every time you come in, you think of all that. These are all symbolism, symbols, metaphor. They're very important. Symbols are very important. Our thought, our ideas, our thought, and symbol, that is have more important than abstract ideas. Okay, next slide. So that will come hopefully in the next 8 months. 8 months it will be there. Now Mantra Sri Devi is there, magnificently sitting there. That is a very unusual aspect of Mother. Mantra Sri Devi knows all the sound principle, the sound bodies of all devatas. See, mantras are not invoked devatas, but they are themselves devatas, millions of them. So the sound body vibration, she will give us the grace to understand the mantras. It's very, very difficult to understand because Rishis saw and they came out with the bija mantras, the sound vibration. But we have to go back from that vibration, from the rasa, raga, sound principle to that deity, because that is the deity. But we have to receive that deity. We have to be aware of the deity. So we have to be aware of that mantra, the principle of mantric knowledge. Mantra Sri Devi will grant out of her grace. To know it, it's almost impossible for a human mind to conceive that much, to see the sound. Essentially, you are seeing the sound. And that sound is a devata. So it's very complex, very difficult to understand. Unless we have a grace of Mother, which we do, otherwise we won't be here. But the specific devata, which is that mantra, and she will grant us the boon, the ability, and more than anything else, the grace makes us receive. More than knowledge, more than karma, more than any wisdom, the grace is most important. The grace means arul. That's something given to us. We really cannot earn that. We earned it by many, many lifetimes. Almost 1 million lifetimes, 640,000 lifetimes. We earned it, but it will manifest this time. And that is a boon we are getting. So Mantra Shri Devi, she is there, sitting there. She will be installed underneath. See, on top of her, you will see the serpent again. The serpent is fundamentally a Kundalini energy of Mantra Shri Devi. That's a very unique form. I know of only one temple in India. They have realized that. The Siddha, the seer who found the temple, felt her. And then he built the temple. And Mother said, you bring her because many of my devotees will get the grace of the deity, even though they may not understand the mantra. If they understand the principle, by our kindness, they will receive it. Again, she's referring to the grace. Grace is something given to us by Mother. And because you are here, we are all invited. We are guests in our house. So many of you will feel the mantra, will feel the deity, will feel the devatas through understanding the mantra. And it's not easy. I've been working on it for probably 30 years now. I'm only starting to see certain mantras. In this temple, many of you have seen the Yakshinis who are the closest to us. They are the youngest, are the closest, high vibratory, cosmic entities, not human. Next slide, please. I'm rushing through because I have to give you much more information. I'll come to it. Devi Meenakshi Ambika. She is a founder of this temple. I'll tell you the story. Once, this is about 40 years ago, in the ancient Nadi, Bhrigu Samhita, you heard of Bhrigu Samhita. And this Siddha has Mother Meenakshi's grace. So he was given that ancient scroll, which is a conversation between Ganesha and Mother Meenakshi. So Ganesha asks, tell me the story of this scroll. Who he is, what was he, where he came from, where is he going to go. That is the information Ganesha asks Mother Meenakshi. And Mother Meenakshi will give him. That will be written and he will identify me in many ways. I have a long relationship with that Siddha. What he said is, you will build a house for me, but you would not call me Mother Meenakshi. You'll call me Adi Parashakti, the primordial supreme consciousness. With that I am connected. So there's Madurai Meenakshi Ambika, there's in Kanchi she'll be called Kamakshi, in Kasi she'll be called Visalakshi, but high vibratory energies, very close to supreme consciousness. So it's a Adi. Adi means ancient, primordial, always existed. Para means origin of all Shaktis. That is Adi Parashakti. So you'll call me that. You would not call me Mother Meenakshi. That was a long time ago. Then after 10, 15 years afterwards, she came and said, time has come. My children are waiting and the world is waiting. You have to build and bring those, I don't want to say lower, closer energies, the Yakshinis, the Mohinis, the Vidyadharas, who are protective. Munishwara, Munishwari, all of them. The closer to us, to our vibration, which will be 1,000,000 times more than ours. The closest deity, even Naga Devata would be 1,000,000 times more than us. But Mother would be trillion times. But still, the closest one would do the most for us. That's why Naga Devata is very important. Now time has come, a group of us, they've been asking me, why can't we have Mother Meenakshi? I never told them that she didn't want to be known. But now time has come, people have to receive her. So we will install her at Mother Meenakshi. So we already started it. I was there in India, in Mother Meenakshi temple. So we'll make a Vigraha. Again, it has to be done in a proper way. We can't just go and buy them or have a technician make it. That person has to have Mother Meenakshi's grace. He has to know the mantras. He has to be technically a Siddha himself to be able to do that. And I did that. And we needed some extra gold because we use Panchaloka for our Uchamurti, but we needed more appearance. I wanted to feel happy, so we needed more gold. And here sitting there, he just found some gold. So that person brought it to me, extra gold, pure gold, 24 karat gold. So I was there, so I was able to give it to the Sthapati. Use this extra on top of what you plan to use as a Panchaloka. So that date you look magnificent. You will all see it. We'll probably install it. We'll start the basic work. We'll be in this side on 28th of January. That's just 3 weeks ago. We'll just start the preparation. Installation would be May, June time frame. Mother will tell us. In this temple, we just do what she tells us. The day, the time, everything will happen. But that will happen. And she'll look magnificent. Mother Meenakshi Ambika. And there are certain information about her. You can read that. I won't go through that. But she gives boon very easily. The boon given to us really from her. She is the one who interpreted, who identified us and said, we needed what we did for the world protection, and we'll be blessed to be the intermediary. So we are the intermediary. So when you participate in this, you can never do it. By ourselves, we cannot. Money alone cannot do it, like the Ambani's cousin who came and asked for that. He cannot do that. Unless she wants it, she prepares us, she gives information. We cannot do that. We are blessed. You participate along with me in the temple function, whatever, volunteer, sponsor, all those things which you do. I see you people doing it. So you participate. Depending on your level of participation, you get more. You all get something, but we may want more, then you participate more. It becomes an act of sacrifice. Really, it's a misnomer calling it a sacrifice. A gift given and taken by us. Depending on what you do, you take it. So Mother is very fair. She said, I will cook the food and keep it in front of you. You have to take it and consume it. That's very fair. I'll do everything for you. Make everything for you. You have to consume it. That consumption is not coming from mind, body, intellect, ego. The consumption comes from your Atman. The Atman would not accept it unless you're given, unless you sacrifice, unless you showed your commitment. My Atman won't take it. Whatever she tries to do, she will do it. It's very fair. All of us get the same. But the consumption is for me to show my love, my affection, my reverence, my knowledge, my wisdom, and take it. And that is consumption. That we differ. Each one of us will differ. I may get more or less, depending on what I do towards that mission. And nobody can have it, nobody can do that mission unless they participate through her house as the only medium she has to the humanity. The higher beings come, that's what the Siddha told me. That it's not just humans who come here. Many devatas come here and consume her. There's a hierarchy, million times of transcendence. All of them are much higher than us. Like I said, Nagadevata is closest, but much higher. Munishwara is closest, but much higher. We all have their aspect in the Rajagopuram. Munishwara aspect, many of you may not know. Muniyamma, Munishwara, Manjamma, all of them very powerful beings. But we are not aware of them here, but we have them in the Rajagopuram. So when you come here, the grace comes to you. Next slide, please. A very unique thing she has given us. We have 9 Sri Chakras in the Rajagopuram. No temple has Sri Chakras. Many temples they prohibit. They don't want to put it outside because it's secretive. But to Mother, no secret. We deserve everything we can consume. She's very open. She said, you put 9 Sri Chakra in the Rajagopuram. I don't know how many of you know. I'm sure you see 1 or 2 or 3 which is visible, but there are 9 Sri Chakra. What she said is, it's very complex. The way to reach me easier, quicker would be that highest level to reach me. But it's very complex. Look at it. It has 5 upward triangle and 4 downward looking triangle. Downward looking triangle means the grace coming down. Upward is what we. So the 5 times she descends down and 4 times we try to go up. That is a human nature, to climb up and get closer to divine. That's our ultimate aim. Know the Atman and touch. We should be touched by Paramatman. That is a fundamental. So 9 triangles. 5 downward looking, 4 upward looking. And they interlock and they result in 43 triangles. The 44th would be the Bindu. It's not a triangle, it's condensed triangle. We call them Bindu. There are actually 44. But 43 triangles are each one has millions of devatas. In fact, in the Sri Chakra, there is 64 crores would be 640 million. The number of devatas in our tradition is 330 million. This one has 640 million. Who are they? They are different cosmic vibration. You can have them because we have billions and billions of cosmic suns in our own galaxy, which is a small galaxy. There are billions and billions of galaxies. If you give one galaxy one cosmic energy, that'll be 640 million. So it's feasible that much of different vibrations exist, and we can take them if we have the knowledge and understanding and sacrifice some. In other words, you have to sacrifice our mind, body, intellect level in order to benefit our Atman, which is the truth. Atman is the only thing which is eternal. It's going to exist forever. You and I, the shell will go. But we came in to strengthen the Atman using the shell, using the mind, body, intellect, ego. We use that to raise our Atman's energy so we can get closer and closer to her and merge with her ultimately. Already, according to Krishna Bhagavan, we had 830,000 lifetimes. That's what he tells Arjuna when he was in the war. He says, you had that many times, and I have known you that many times. You don't know that. You know only now. You, Arjuna, I am Krishna Bhagavan. Then he shows the Vishwarupa, then Arjuna understands. So actually, in fact, we are better. We are fortunate because we don't. She doesn't have to show Vishwarupa for her to believe in her. We believe instinctively, intuitively. We know she is the Supreme Consciousness. We are a small aspect of her. And she has created us. I will tell you why she created it. For a purpose. For us to evolve. At a stage, like an opera stage, this is an opera stage. And we are the actors. We are the opera actors. We perform. Depending on what we perform, hopefully we'll get Oscar when we go up to the hierarchies of Devatas and Devis. They'll give us because we perform the best. That is our aim. And she has given us the grace, so we will perform, otherwise we won't be here. So we are special. You earned the right sometime in this 840,000 lifetimes you had. So Sri Chakra is very complex. To understand that many Devatas, very, very complex. But she said, you put me, I will grace them. In other words, they'll start thinking, what does it all mean? All the squares, the numerous chakras, the petals, they all are very meaningful. What they do is remove the density. I'm dense. That's why I cannot feel the divinity in me. I don't even know I'm divine. I'm a human being. I'll live short-term, least 100 years, hopefully, and then I pass away. That's all the purpose. Other paths of religion accept that. But we know it doesn't make sense. We just come here and go, what is the purpose? Purpose must be higher. And our rishis realized what the purpose and given us all the wisdom. So every time I go to Himalayas, there's one or two rishis she will identify. I'll go and find them. There are no temples. There's no identification mark. Only thing we feel is Jiva Samadhi. They are eternal beings. Some of them have been here 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. Those days, and the energy still exists as a Jiva aspect. They are an eternal Jiva Samadhi. And then you go and bring them here. So this temple is full of those Maharishis. We are right in there. So she will grant them. Each Maharishi has done very unique, and that thing will be granted to us and to our progenies, our children, our grandchildren. You'll go on many, many times. So that is why she said, you place me 9 places, 9 aspects, and I will grant them the knowledge. If they don't catch on this time, they will catch on. What he's referring to is you come back and the travel continues, the knowledge continues, the grace continues with our Atman. That is a wonderful, wonderful offer. So that is the reason why we have 9 Sri Chakra. It's a Nava Avarna. It's a concealment. She created, she also concealed. So without the concealment, what is the purpose? We have to find the way around. We have to go through the 9 Avarnas, Nava Avarnas. Avarnas are concealment. But she gives the wisdom. More than the wisdom, knowledge with which is not enough to understand the depth of Sri Chakra. It's a cosmic map. It is a formula of creation itself. Very complex. But if you have the grace, you will understand some of it. Maybe one lifetime is not enough. But you will understand enough. And that will grow. So each one of us world will receive a lot, because she said, you place them and they will start thinking. And the thought makes us look at you, because we are very, very insignificant. When you say billions and billions of suns in our galaxy and billions of galaxies, she's sitting on top of it. How we won't even be visible. But somehow our Atman is woken up. We have earned it. We have become special to her, so she looks at us. When she says she, I mean all her aspect, millions and millions of them. And this temple is full of them. This morning when he did the Homa, so many Yakshinis were there. And fortunately, we did Kubera Lakshmi Homa. Kubera aspect is considered king of all Yakshinis. So it was wonderful. They are very, very happy. And Kubera, all of them are cosmic energies. They really don't have a form. We create that form with some sense, some logic behind it, and create a name and create a mythology, a story behind it. But they are very logical, and they do exist as our mythology says. That's why rituals are very important. Without rituals, we don't have any way of knowing all this. The abstract thought process, however highly evolved we are, we need a mythology, we need a story, we need a form and a name and a story behind it so that we can take it, we can receive it. So it's very meaningful. Mythology has lots of meaning, and all the ancient religions had. Egyptians knew about sun 4,500 years ago. Only one pharaoh realized the sun is the only god you need in the earth because it nurtures. And as soon as he passed away, they changed everything back to what it was before. They really missed it. They gave too much importance to our mind, body, intellect level. Whereas this pharaoh, his name is Akhenaten. He's the father of Tutankhamun. He's the only one among, they existed for 3,000 years. The pharaohs, that Egyptian culture existed. 1,800 years ago, when the Greeks, the others, Hittite took over, and the culture came down. But this man, Pharaoh, 3,200 years ago, has figured out sun is Atman, that is in us. That's all. He didn't figure out all we know. No, there was nobody there that advanced as Maharishis. So he did not know any of it. But he figured out Atman is connected to sun. That's why Surya Narayana, Surya Bhagavan. Even though sun itself is a nuclear furnace, but the consciousness of the sun is Surya Narayana. So we go to the consciousness of that energy, physical energy. It's a nuclear furnace. But the consciousness inside is Surya Narayana. That he figured out. There is something more than just the sun. He didn't know the consciousness, he didn't know the Atman, he didn't know any of it because he didn't have the help like we have had. Our Maharishis are unique. 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. They meditated, they solved all they did experimentation. Like a lab, their own body and mind and Atman is a lab, and they studied it. And they're very unique souls, Maharishis. And they probably came, in fact, many of our founding fathers probably were Maharishis because they came out with a very unique concept of this creation of this country. And many of them were Freemasons, Rosicrucians. So they were very mystical like us. They understood reality, but they didn't talk about it. Jefferson was very highly evolved. Franklin understood, many of them, Adam, all of them understood. That's why they were Freemasons. Freemasons is a type of mysticism, but not as deep as our Maharishis figured out. But they figured out certain aspect of spirituality, and they become Freemasons, and they understood the secrecy of that philosophical approach to life. But again, those days they couldn't talk because people would not have accepted it because of religious beliefs. They kept quiet. But in the autobiography, you'll find out even Newton understood many things, but he never talked. In fact, he told them to burn all his philosophical writing because he didn't want his colleagues to know that he was into it, into spirituality and metaphysics. So he told them to burn it, but some of them survived, and the most recent biography mentions that. And he was a very good astrologer. But after him, Oxford stopped teaching astrology. They said it's pseudoscience. But he was a very good astrologer. He studied during the positive, auspicious time based on his planet, so he believed in it. But his irony is, after that, it became pseudoscience. They stopped teaching it in Oxford. He was the first Oxford Club's president. Oxford Club was very unique those days, 500 years ago. He was the first president, and Nostradamus was a great astrologer. Okay, that is the story of Sri Chakra in this temple. She wants the world to know about Sri Chakra. She wants the world to understand and receive. She said, you just place it for the world to see it, and I will make them understand. It may take many lifetimes to them, but at least the world will know there is a secret of creation. And Sri Chakra has it all. And we worship me through Sri Chakra, even if you don't understand. The fact that you know about this cosmic math, understand the secrecy of creation, even that knowledge, which is very rudimentary knowledge, even that is adequate for me to come into you. And with my grace, you will understand. And the mantra is Gayatri. The esoteric Gayatri is Panchadashastri, Kayi Hailarim, Asaka Halarim, Saka Larim. That is Panchadashastri. That's esoteric Gayatri. Exoteric Gayatri, you all know. You were introduced to it at the time of Upanayanam. But the real Gayatri, this Gayatri, and Sri Chakra represents every bija. And most important, two of them you have to know. You have to know Manmata. He gave life to Ka bija, Kamashi Ambiga. The first desire, when mother desires, she throbs. And that creates Spanda, the vibration. That becomes Nada. The Nada creates the Bindu. And the Prakriti is created. This is in simplified form of explaining the creation. The creation is very complex. So many of our aspects as Devatas. We call them Devatas because the Rishis have identified them. They dissected her, identified millions and millions of attributes of her, and each one they gave a form and a name and a formula, which is a mantra. So if you look at it, it's very logical, very, very scientific, simple, but very complex. To understand the depth of Sri Chakra, depth of avarana, step by step. We are in the first level. We will be in this level, that level. That is called Trilokya Mohana. And God, for that, the entity which will make them understand is Krishna. So that's why Krishna Vande Jagat, because he, through Bhagavad Gita, through all his activities, has taught us what we have to know to survive in that area and go up. So that is called Trilokya Mohana area. Then there is 9 different levels of Kundalini ascension. So his teaching is very basic, very true, very real, very understandable for us, and that is the beginning. So if you follow Gita, you have your step 1 is complete, then you go to other 9 avarana. Ultimately you go to the final one where you become one with the origin. So creation is between light and sound. And you go back same way. And it will take time. When I say time, eternal time, not one lifetime. Many, many lifetimes. That is the reason why we are given 840,000 lifetimes. We have already lived, and we have probably, hopefully not that many more. So that is the basis of Sri Chakra. Why she wanted 9 of them in the Rajagopuram. Many, many secrets like this are in Rajagopuram. That's why what she says is, when people come, let them think of me. You say, Maha Sri Chakra Nagara Samragini, Namaste, 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 Namaha. That's all you have to say. Then the grace comes, then your wisdom comes, knowledge comes, and each Devata will look at you. To them you exist, and to us they exist. So that's a very simple mantra. Maha Sri Chakra Nagara Samrahini, Namaste, 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 Namaha. First step, you looked at it, you recognize the magnificence of her, and all the deities, 520 of them, very high deities, about which we wouldn't even heard about them. I would have known maybe 30 of them. Every installation is done in a prana pratishtha. Many, many unusual aspects. Some of them I see them, because they're very close to us, that Munishwar aspect. Ayyappa aspect is very important, because he represents the dark energy, which science does not know. They know there's a dark energy which we cannot see. It is in the universe. Only 6% of universe we see, visible universe. Rest of it is either dark energy or dark mass. And mother represents, that's why Karumari, she is Mari, she changed it from Nirguna to Saguna Brahman. And Karu is a fundamental color. All the colors, when you remove them, the darkness only remains. Before the light came, that was the original. So Ayyappa represents, there's a temple in India, they don't call it Ayyappa. They call them 18-step dark energy. Padinettam Padi Karuppar. How many of you been there? You've seen it. It's close to Madurai. Alagar Koil, it's called Alagar Koil. He protects all the deities in Madurai Meenakshi temple. He's a protector. He's called 18-step dark energy, and that is Ayyappa. Very few know that. He's very powerful because he's one of the fundamental energy, fundamental creation. We don't know. Okay, universe scientists don't know, they can't see it. But they know it is there, and it's probably 30% of the universe. So it's called fundamental deity. Like Kartikeya would be a fundamental deity. They would be very powerful. They're fundamental. So you understand them, you get lots of grace. So that's fundamental energy. It's a dark energy, and he represents it. And the temple, I happened to go there because Mother told me, you're going to go through bad period. I'll protect you, but planets have to have their say. I would not stop them from causing harm to you. I say harm, but is it harm? I realize now it is not a harm, it's a test. I get stronger, wiser, but I go through pain and suffering. That's part of Saturn in that house, 8th house Saturn. Ashtamattu Sani it's called. Everybody is afraid of it. We all gone through that. Every 30 years you go through that. But Mother said, I'll teach you how to play the card. In other words, the time of birth, your card is given. Nobody can change it because the card game, the cards you received is what you wanted. You created the script and you're playing the script. I will help you by make you survive. The tolerance, the wisdom to play the card. That I will teach you. If you ask me, I'll do that. But changing the cards I won't, because you wanted it for a purpose. You wanted to evolve, so you created the script. You wrote the script, the story of our life. We wrote it. How could she change it? She'll change it by making us persevere, get more powerful, more tolerant. Pratyankara Devata. Pratyankara is a very high energy aspect. Pratyankara is almost close to Mahamaya. Her bija, Sham. Sham bija makes you persevere anything. Any torture, anything very unpleasant in life, she will teach you how to persevere. And you know, everything is perception. Life is perception. What you perceive is that. That's all is true. What you don't perceive is not true, and she'll make you not perceive those tragedies, not to perceive in that degree, so you will survive it. So that bija of Pratyankara is called Sham. So think of Sham, Bija and Pratyankara, and that will give you extra energy. Anyway, I'm just making a point that script cannot be changed, but you can act better, you can receive it better, you can survive it better. And that's all we need. We don't want to change the script because you wrote the script. You, in a higher form, realize that you need to evolve certain areas of deficit, and he wrote the script so that that deficits can be corrected and he can keep traveling back to her. And why would anybody change it? Even if they can, I don't think they should. But they should make us persevere. And in the process of perseverance, I become richer in experience. I'm able to tolerate, I'm able to persevere, understand, and survive. These next 2 years, I'll be smarter, I'll become smarter, I'll become wiser, I'll become tougher. Because I'll go through that, what we call a suffering, because that planet has to have that. But he's the kindest one, like Yama Dharmaraja. Yama Dharmaraja, he's a Dharmaraja. He takes everything Chitragupta gives him and he makes a judgment. And that is our story, and Chitragupta keeps an account. Do they exist as we perceive? Probably, because the rishis said yes, there is one entity which keeps track. That would be connected to Mada Manonmani. Who is Manonmani? Consciousness. The deity of our conscience, not consciousness, conscience. That's the only thing which knows every act of mine. Nobody else knows. I may forget, but it's recorded. And Chitragupta records it. That's a story. Is it really happened that way? Probably. But they may have different names. I call him Chitragupta. I call him accountant giving accounts to Yama Dharmaraja. I call him Dharmaraja because he's going to judge me. And he's going to tell me, these are the things you did wrong. Go back and complete that part which is deficit, which is what we want. I want to complete it. I want to go back to her. So in that process, he does a nice thing. Because he cannot hurt me because I'm eternal. I'm immortal. That part of me is eternal. He cannot do anything, but he can only show me what I missed, what I did wrong, what I have to do to correct it. That part he will show me and give me a chance to write another script. And I'll come back and act out that script. Only thing I want to do is do it so well, I'll get an Oscar. Whether it's a good script or bad script doesn't matter, but I'll act out because she has given the wisdom. And Pratyankara Devi has given me the survivability, survive that hard life. But hard, easy is my perception. But I would take it, like when I went to med school, I suffered a lot. It's pretty difficult to go through that 5 years, and another 5 years. And that is what nature is. Every one of us born, we have to evolve. You can't stay home and relax and enjoy. You have to go through school, college, profession, family. That is a story of us, that we have to do that. So Sri Chakra, that is the significance in this temple. Look at it, try to understand the 9 avarna. Nava avarna, 9 concealment, 9 screens. You go one after another. We already finished one. If you follow Sri Krishna Bhagavan, we finished one. We are ready for the next one. But in one life, we can go through the 9 avarnas. That is understanding the various chakras, the various levels of my Kundalini. That is knowledge. We don't have the time to go into the depth of it. I just want to touch on it, why she wanted nine chakras. One chakra would have been enough. He said, no, you put 9, and each one of them will look at one, and they will chant my mantra, which is what I told you. Every time you look at the Rajagopura, you chant that, because that connects you. You start thinking. You don't come mechanically to a place, look at the beautiful things we have, paintings, all that. They are beautiful. None of it exists. The new aspect underneath the Rajagopuram, you look at the painting, it's like a Michelangelo's painting. The color combination, the way, the rasa, the raga, the vibrations, very unique. Many people come and they meditate there. It's a very nice place to meditate because those are meaningful. To go there, you see Tripura Sundari, Lalita Tripura Sundari, you see Balai. Balai aspect is very, very intense in this temple particularly. She is very actively present, Bala Tripura Sundari, and she grants boons much, much easier. If you invoke her, invoke I'm Kleem Saum, that is her bija. I'm Kleem Saum. That's Bala Tripura Sundari's bija. So you think of her, think of what she represents, what she can grant us, how she is connected to Lalita Tripura Sundari. Think of all these mythological facts. That makes a difference, and you become closer to them. And among all the deities in this temple, Balai aspect, Bala Tripura Sundari, is very intense. So think of her, think of that mantra. I won't go into the depth of this. Next slide. How much time I have? 15 minutes. I got 15 more minutes. Okay, the Pratiniti Yatra, it's a great concept. I'll tell you why it's a great concept. She said, you come and meditate on the place where Maharishis meditated. I will identify it for you because there is no temple. There is no structure. You go there, go to Rishikesh, then go on top of it. Only one road goes all the way. One side is Ganga, other side is forest. So you go, you will see them because they are Jiva Samadhi. That Agni, the Pancha Agni will manifest. You will see, you will feel them. And just like she says, I feel them. Very dangerous. Every time I go, I feel I'm not going to come back alive because those, there's no path, the jungle, the big boulders. If you slip and fall, nobody would even know you're gone because the skull won't handle the solid boulders. And going up is difficult, I do that. But coming down, I fear only recently the fear came to me, maybe because of Ashtamattasani, maybe one effect. But fear is, if I'm gone, there are things to do. In the next 2 years, she's got plans, magnificent plans. What you see now, it will be much, much better, much bigger, because she wants us to receive her. So she will do everything towards that. I know that. But if I'm gone, people who are with me, they would not know it. Because this is not something you plan with intellect or with money. This has to be designed by her. If I'm gone, that will be left undone. You won't even know. You won't even know it's left undone because you won't even know what to be done. You're very happy with what she's given. She's given a magnificent temple. Nothing like this exists. You won't even know what she could have done, and that would be gone. So that fear, death never bothered me because I'm very happy to pass because that's my script I passed. But no, I have time and I'll be with you. But this has to be done. But the fear part is probably the 8th of Saturn makes you vulnerable for that fear. But it's logical too because you can fall, and those are very dangerous places. Then somebody told me, why you want to do that? You've done enough and beautiful, magnificent temple. Why you want to go there and meet them and bring them here? There's enough here already, which is true. But what she said is very unique. She said, many of my children, you take them with you. How do I take you with me? would you come with me? No, it's very dangerous. You would not be able to, and you would not. So she said, no, you project them with you. So now when I go there, all of you come. This place comes, the temple comes. When I sit and meditate, the whole place is there. And many of you, some of you I know, some of you I don't see it, but your vibrations are here because you have been here. Whoever visited this temple, whoever is here, and the whole gang comes. Then she said, is it cost effective now? What you pay, is it a good price? Yes. If you're going to share that, it's worth it. For me alone, she would not have given that probably, that boon. Nobody would deserve that. But as a group of people, special soul, who are going to have a special mission and they're going to participate in the mission like you are, then it becomes worth it because you're special and you deserve it. You deserve the boon she's giving us. That's why she's given us wonderful priest. They do wonderful alankaram, very sincere. They all very highly elevated. When they come, they are in a 1 to 10 level. They'll be 3, 4. Now they are 9. Each one of them, they have evolved because she picked them up. The priests are very special. We just don't go. It takes years for us to understand. I interview them. I see how much they know. It is not just the knowledge of Vedas and Upanishads. It is the soul. Who is that soul? Is he connected? And if you talk to the priest, they'll tell you the experiences. Very, very mystical experiences they have. Normal priests would not have that. They will have knowledge. They'll be very good priests in terms of knowing the Shastra. But experiencing it, they have to be special. And she chooses it. So she said, you are the Pratinidhi. And all of them are coming with you. So whatever suffering you have, it's distributed. And they get all of them. Then I thought, then it's worth it. If I'm going to lose my life, she would not have made me do them because I have a job to do. So she will take care of it. So I think of this southern plantation, this slaves, how well they are built. The master took care of them. They have to work. So she takes care of me. I'm healthy, but the fear is still there. So this Pipalada is a wonderful Maharishi. He wrote an Upanishad called Prasanna Upanishad. So the world has to know 6 questions they ask and he answers them. I don't have time to go through that. You can read Prasanna Upanishad. Very simple. And he's a seer of Ganga Mata. As a conscious being, Ganga Devi is highest in terms of cosmic energy. As the river is a wonderful river, it touches all the holy places, bigger than Nile or any other river. The real Ganga when it started. Saraswati is here. Yamuna is going to be here as a representative. They're all here, but they'll be represented by a figure. You can see Ganges falling down from heavens on top of Shiva, and he'll hold her. 95% he'll hold her. You won't let it come to earth because we cannot manage that intense energy of Ganga. She's a very, very high vibratory devata. People do not realize how wonderful Ganga is. And he's a seer of that mantra. Angirasa is a very unique Maharishi. He's like the Greek god founder of fire, they call him. So he is like that. He is so unique. He's supposed to be great grandson. When I say sons, these are all mind-born energy of Brahma, the creator. The mind-born sons of Brahma. They probably were not human. They're divine beings. Angirasa is one like that. He was so unique. Agni, fire, didn't want to stay. Agni Bhagavan said, no, he is more unique than me, so I don't deserve that. So he left. And earth cannot exist with life form without fire, without Agni. The Agni is not just a fire. The mystical part of every cell has the potential energy inside us. So we measure the potential difference outside and inside the cell membrane. That is fire is referring to, not the rudimentary fire. Even the Homa, it's not the fire itself. It's the energy comes, the Pancha Agni. So this Pancha, 5 aspect of them, they come when you do the Homa. So that aspect, he left. Then Angirasa called him back. He said, any place where the life forms are going to form, they need fire. So you have to come back. So he reintroduced Agni Bhagavan. So he is very unique. So he was there. So we go and meditate. He gives the secrets of Panchagni, all that. And I come here, I don't even have to discuss that with you because number 1, you may not be interested in. Number 2, it's very unique concepts, and you really have to put lots of energy to understand them. But Mother said, even if they don't understand, but they have the grace of me, meaning that Maharishi. So many of them I went, and they are here. So they will receive me. You share with them whatever you can, but they will take whatever they can. But I will give the grace of that Maharishi, and they will get the benefit. So if you look at it that way, the Pratiniti Yatra is very cost effective to me and to you. Because all things I go through, you get passively the benefit of it. How much, I don't know, but you do get it. So the Pratiniti Yatra concept is a very unique concept, and she has given us that privilege of knowing this Maharishi. The ancients, they probably lived 15, 20,000, maybe longer. Because now they're finding things which goes back to hundreds of thousands. So we talk about human beings, 150. Humanoids, human beings are more than 1 million. There are many humanoids. The Cro-Magnon, which is us, will be 150,000. But there are many, many humanoids in the past 4 million years. And before that, we were apes. So all of them, all the concepts and the truth there, so they could have lived 100,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago. The concept of Lemuria, the concept of Atlantis definitely happened, because we have lived that long in a civilized fashion, hundreds of thousands of years. But history does not know. Look at before Napoleon found that stone, we didn't even know the hieroglyphics. We didn't understand any of it. We thought Earth was 4,000 years old, but we know now. All this, as time goes on, the secrets will be revealed. The fossils we depend on, only 1/1000th of available fossil we know exist. That means we are basing all of our assumption with the 1/1000th of the fossil proof. Many of it we don't know, but it will. But we do understand a lot about outside the galactic. We do understand. Own Earth we don't, because we don't have proofs for them. So we think humans, Cro-Magnon, 150,000 years ago. Neanderthal lived 50,000 until 50,000 years ago. But humanoids go back to 4 million years. So our evolution is 4 million. But life form goes to more than 1 billion. The biggest explosion was 560,000 years ago, the Jurassic time. Before that, there's one period, 560 million years ago. Whole bunch of life forms. Advanced. We are only 4 million years. 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs left, and dinosaurs lived 150 million years, and they had their own society. I'm sure they had their own development. They had their own social culture. We don't know that. Now we are finding proof. They understood a lot more than what we thought they understood, and they lived to be 150 million years. We are only 4 million years ago. So we are very babies as human, but we will evolve. Would we live to be that long? I don't know. Would we survive 150 million years as dinosaurs did? I don't know. But we will find some other place. We will move on. Where Earth goes, we find some other stage to act on. There's lots of stages in the universe, billions and billions of them. Okay, that is Pratiniti Yatra, and you are participating. I just want you to be aware of it. Otherwise, you would not know that. If you're not aware, you may not perceive. That's the reason why I'm sharing that. Otherwise, I won't even share. These are very personal experiences. But I do share it with you because I want you to know how kind she is, how much she does, so that humans can evolve in a higher plane of consciousness, which is our destiny. Next slide, please. Okay, I'll quickly move on. The Drishtipeetham we have to build it, because the whole place looks magnificent, but that place doesn't look magnificent. So we are going to build a new one, very close to it, but it'll match, because the energy is there very intense. Sashti Durga, Arishtanami, Balaya aspect, they're all very intensely present in Drishtipeetham. Most of us don't even go in there. I do Chaturthis, we do special, so I do sometimes. But most of our devotees don't even know that exists. So we're going to make it magnificent. It'll look like that, like you see there. So it'll attract attention, so they will go there and get the benefit, because it's a very important aspect of the temple. The drishti is very common. The human drishti. Drishti is evil effect of our thought process. Jealousy, all those people may direct against us, but more than that, asuric, the demonic drishti is very intense, and we do have them. All of us have some degree of it. So that Sannidhanam helps us, protect us from drishtis. That's why it's called Drishtipeetham. Next slide, please. So that we will start building in the next few months when the weather gets better. These three unique souls, you have to know about them. That last one you see is our one of our priests, wonderful priest, very mystical priest. He will talk to you and he will tell you many things about you, which are true, only you know. But he would know because the devatas talk to him. So as you are talking to him, he will tell you many things about you, what you have to do. And he will know that. So many of you had met him. Many of you had met him. He passed away. He is here very actively, but not in the body level. In the higher astral level, he is here. And he does many things for us. So I want you to think of him. Whoever has seen him, has worked with him, I don't know how many of you have seen him or worked with him. Very unique soul, very mystical soul, very blessed soul, and he's very actively present. Every time I'm here, do the Homa, I invoke him. He's very actively here. You can receive a lot from him, although he's not in a human. He is our Guru. He is the one who gave me the yantra, mantra, and the tantric principles behind the yantra. Without him, I could not have done anything, because these are all mystical. I'm not capable of that. But he gave me that yantra, very unique yantra. He has used it for 50 years. He granted me that. He said, with that only you can do this. Normal people cannot do it because they won't have the communication ability, so they won't get the messages. And if you don't get the messages, you won't know what to do. So for that reason, he gave me. But the story is very more complex than that. He denied the fact he had it. Mother sent me 3 times to him. The middle, his name is Swarna Venkateshwara Dikshadhar. He is a very close friend of Mahaperiyava, who passed away. They're very close. He's a wonderful soul. Very, very mystical. They call him Nataraja, because in that temple he was a mentor. In Chidambaram temple, they will call him Nataraja, because he's so close to Nataraja. He is like Nataraja to people who come to the temple. So they're not even supposed to cross oceans. But he came 3 times, gave me the mantra, gave the yantra, everything he gave away. That is done by Mother. Otherwise he would not do that, and he cannot do that. He denied it. He denied the fact that he even had access to the yantra. And he has done many miraculous things in the Chidambaram temple with that, because he didn't want that to be known to people. But I said, listen, I don't want anything. If she wants me a job, I want to do the job. To that end, she asked me to see you and get whatever you can give me. So after 3 times, when Mother told me, you tell him when I gave him the mantra, when he was 16 years old, she gave him the day and the time. She identified it. She told me, you tell him, I gave that to him. Now time has come. He has to give it to you so that this place can be built. So my children will benefit. That is a destiny. And you have to do them, and I will make him. So when I told him that, then he realized there's something very mystical about this whole thing. It's not normal. He's not coming in asking me to give that very special yantra for himself. He's asking for Mother. So she communicated with him through Nataraja. Then he gave me that yantra. That is what benefits us. Without that, we cannot have this. I would not know how to do it, what to do. I won't know anything. Other than we may know where that I can learn. But these are something beyond that. So we have to think of him. His portrait is there. The third one, the first one, Jagatguru, he just passed away about 3 months ago. He was 94. He's called Jagatguru Purushottam Goswamiji. In Vrindavan, he has a special temple. The Srila Prabhupada, who came and started the ISKCON movement, he was his contemporary. He helped him to come here 1950s to start the ISKCON movement. So he's a wonderful soul, well known all over the world. In Europe, they know him. His son is in the 60s. He has been here, Srivatsa Goswamiji, well known throughout the world. But he is a father. Mother told him, they go and see him. This is about 35 years ago. You go see him, he's waiting for you. He was Krishna Bhagavan's playmate. He has lived with him during Krishna Bhagavan's Leela. And he is a Jagatguru now. You go and see him, and he will do something for you to be able to understand me. And twice it came in the scroll. Then I asked one of my students from Delhi. He said, yes, there is a place called Vrindavan. I was so ignorant. I thought it's not a historical place. Obviously, I did not know very much about the place. Then, to make a long story short, I went and he recognized me. He told me, why you wait? I waited so long, you never came early. I said, I didn't know anything about this place. Are you? So he took me to Ganges many times. Every 12 years when the Jupiter goes to that house, he will take me to Ganges early morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and he will invoke devatas to come and communicate. First time I didn't understand. 12 years later, when I went back, I understood. I heard them. Took that long to be able to connect to them. So he's a wonderful soul. We should remember him. I think we should make it. But he's beginning, even before Dikshita came into my life. He already came. So Mother has prepared. The script is written, the story has to happen. She has prepared without me knowing. So that's why now is appropriate. We bring Mother Meenakshi here. Meenakshi Ambika will be here in the next 6 months. She waited very patiently. She said, don't recognize me. But we recognize her. We invoke her. She gave us special mantra. We do that. But as a Vigraha, we didn't have her. We have one of them, a small one next to it. When I went to Madurai, one priest came and gave it to me very mysteriously. So that Vigraha we have. But we don't have a Sannidhanam for Mother Meenakshi, which we will have. That is her kindness. She's granted us. Next slide. Quickly, we have to move on. Okay, Sthala Vriksha is very important. When you have bad planetary period like Ashtamatha Sani, you can do something to help you. The tree spirits are very important. Long ago, she asked me to do a special homa for the trees. That's about 20 years ago. We did outside. You may not know that. So tree spirits are very important. Every temple has to recognize them and invoke them. So I did it and I was done. Then this person, David Millark, Rakesh heard about him through the TV. He was a well-known man in the television world, apparently. And he met him, and that person said, Doctor, this temple needs special trees because the devotees come, they have to feel the energy of those trees, and I am going to come and install it. So he brought 2 trees. One is Hippocrates tree. Hippocrates lived 2,500 years ago. He's father of medicine. He practiced underneath that tree in an island called Kos. So he brought that. He's a specialist in ancient trees. Then redwoods from California, it's about 5,000 years old. So he brought and installed them here. And in this temple we have that. So Sthala Vriksha is one technical thing which you can do if you really want it, very complex. And if you do that, that planet won't harm you as much. I haven't done it myself. It's very complex. Priest has to spend a lot of time to do that. So I have not told them I want that. I really want it, but practical purpose I know. But at least I know I can do it if I want to. And the trees are here installed. I don't know how many of you know. It's on that side, northern side. One is 2,500 years old, other one is 5,000 years old. They're alive. Most interesting part is I asked David Millark, you're sitting there, I asked him, how did you know about our temple? He said, Doctor, a divine form came to me and told me, I exist in the place and they need this, so you go and do it. I asked him, who is that form? He described the form. That was Ganesha. He described the whole form, Ganesha. I said, did he know about that? He said, no, that form was this. I said, that would be the one who would be the most wise to give you that knowledge to come here and do that, because that will be a big boon for you to be able to do it for this temple and for us. And many of you probably don't even know this. How many of you know this? None of you. It's called Sthala Vriksha. And ancient temple, Buddha got the enlightenment under one tree. Because the tree spirits are real. Why can't it be real? They are life forms. You know that. They don't move, but they live much, much longer than 2,500 years, 5,000 years. So they have to have some amount of life or Atman, which stays there and grows and blesses some, not all the trees. Some of it, like snakes. Some of them, serpent is Kundalini energy, Devatas come, and that becomes Kundalini Devata. But not all the snakes are that way. Some, when they take it over, we saw some, in Michigan we don't see snake. One day we did Naga Panchami day, we were doing outside, a snake came. That snake would be the Kundalini Devata, not all snakes. We use snake symbolically as a coil's energy, and Kundalini is coil energy. But when they take over, they become divine. I'm sure in your homes, you'll have certain homes, they have Nagas come in. And they are possessed by that energy, so they become Devatas. And they will stay, and sometimes they'll go away, come and go. But snakes will be there, and some families have them. So that is Sthala Vriksha, and we have them, and you have to be aware of the tree spirits which are here, which protects us, gives us wisdom and knowledge. and you have to know them. So today I shared that with you. And you can go and see the trees. When the weather changes, you can go the northern side, there are 2 trees. And the energy is very intense of those trees. So all this, how would we have it? Unless Mother plants it that way, how would he know that we needed it? How would I know that he has the ability to do that? Nothing would have happened. So she takes care of it and makes sure we get what we need for maximal ascension. These are not something you can go and buy. This is more like a lottery. 1 in 6 million chance you can get it. And she has given us all. What we need and what we are going to need, she's going to give us more. That is the reason I'm afraid to die now. I want to complete that. 2 years, if I can make it, I'll make it all. Then it's up to you. You have to take advantage of her and come and take it. That's all she says. I give you, depending on the level of evolution, they will take it. But now I had given you enough information. You know this is not a regular temple. It's very special. I'm a mailman. I deliver mail. I'm not a guru or anybody. But I know a lot. In the process of bringing them, she has to teach me something. It's like the man who builds your house. You got to tell him everything. What color you want, what material you want. You got to give him all the secrets of your house to the man who builds it. He doesn't care, but you have to tell him. So in the process, I benefit. And also, when I understand all of us in one really, in different shells, so you develop certain amount of affection to all of us. I don't show that, because you'll misunderstand. So I don't show that. I quietly keep it inside and act very normal. But affection is there because we're all part of one. We're all one family. And that Atman is connected. If I look at you as an Atman, which I do, I'm deeply connected to you. I'm deeply affectionate to you. But no one knows. I just come with a dry look and dry face and do my job and go. Because we have to identify you, deal with you in a mind, body, intellect level. But I do see you. So naturally, I'm more vulnerable. I develop certain affection which cannot be, all will understand that. So that's a special thing, Sthala Viriksha. Next slide. You have any more? I don't have time. Okay, the divine waterfall, I'll take 1 minute. The waterfall, the reason is, these rivers have their own consciousness. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati is here already. Underneath this temple, there's a river, Saraswati Ambika is there. Ganga and Yamuna is here, but we will bring them in a beautiful way like you see there. There will be in front of it a waterfall. Agastya Bhagavan. Agastya Bhagavan is very important for us. Among all the Maharishis, Agastya Bhagavan, from the beginning, is very active. He has had many experiences in India. Agastya Bhagavan is very, very active. He is considered as a brother of Vashishta, the Saptarishis. His mother is Urvasi, so she is divine. So they all probably divine aspect. His mother is Apsara, and his brother is Vashishta. So these are all very unique souls, but in terms of giving us benefit, Agastya Bhagavan does a lot. Even in that Gayatri, Manmata gave life to Ka Bija. The Ha Bija is given, life is given by Agastya Bhagavan. They say Kadi and Hari aspect of esoteric Gayatri. So Agastya Bhagavan, you have to think. So you'll be standing there in front, holding Kamandala, and the water from that will be from Kaveri. Kaveri is a part, because in south it becomes Kaveri. It's all connected. So all this very high cosmic energy as rivers will be represented here. So this, she is Tripada Gamini. It's a very, very, Ganga Devi is very high vibratory energy, which is given a very small amount because we cannot handle her. So Shiva Bhagavan protected us by holding her in his lock, symbolically. That's why you'll see the beautiful representation. So when you're coming in, you're going to see them. Can you imagine how much benefit you'll receive by thinking about them as you're coming in? So she makes sure you will definitely receive it. When you see them magnificently represented, symbolically like that, this place becomes very magnificent just structurally, leave alone the cosmic aspect of it. Just physical aspect of it becomes very overwhelming. And the world will receive so much benefit because we try to do all this as much as we can so that humans can consume. I have to run. You have any more? Okay, thank you so much. Happy New Year.